How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. It became official tonight. I hate the Navy game. I don't hate Navy themselves. I just hate playing them in football, and that became official tonight. From this point on, for every season until the day that I die, I will dread the Navy game when it comes around. These option offense teams are such a pain in the ass to play, and that was evident tonight. Just it's so many moments where you just wanted to pull your hair out. It's ridiculous. I mean, look. I said in my preview, we knew what to expect. We knew it was coming. We knew the chop blocks were coming and all those wacky plays and whatnot. That's just what you have to expect out of option teams, and I know that, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating to watch. So basically, put it this way. This is the best way I can describe it. And this is how I feel about it. You guys all saw Rocky 2. The part when Mickey and Rocky are getting started to train for the rematch with Apollo, and they're watching film from the first fight, and Mickey says to Rocky, Rock, they ought to outlaw southpaws. That's kind of how I feel about option offenses. Look, I'm all about tradition. I'm a big time traditional guy, but if it was up to me, this would be the one tradition that I would do without, and that is playing Navy and any other option team. Just every time we seem to play one, we always come out banged up, and good Lord, I don't know how many guys we had go down on defense tonight. I know Schmidt got hurt, Jerron Jones got hurt a couple of times. I lost count. It was ridiculous. And I said this a while ago. I forget which video it was, but when I was talking about concussions and headshots and all that, I think it was maybe the Pittsburgh recap last season, I'm not sure. But I said, in this day and age, everybody's focusing on, getting rid of headshots and, not hitting high, and they want to avoid concussions and all that. Well, where do you think they're going to start going if you can't hit high? Right for the legs. So, and Navy's a team that does that. They do a lot of chop blocking. They do a lot of low hitting, and guys on defense get hurt in the process. And with a big showdown that we have coming up out in Tempe next Saturday, being banged up is the last thing we need to be right now. But look, enough of focusing on the negative. Let's focus on the good things. Hey, regardless of how things went down tonight, the Irish got the win, and that's always something to celebrate. We rebounded after that fiasco in Tallahassee a couple weeks ago, 7-1. We're right back to our winning ways. And even though tonight's win wasn't the prettiest, it's still a win. And as my buddy Jake told me, and Jake, if you're watching, shout out to you, my friend, because he's the one who told me this: a win is a win, and that's all you can ask for. That's the most important thing. Now, for me though, the only concerning factor is with the playoff selection committee coming out with their first ever rankings, and unfortunately I have that gut feeling that they're going to look at this game and see Navy as an opponent that we should have beaten by 30 or 40 points. And if that hurts us, I don't know if it's going to. I could be dead wrong, and I want to be wrong on that, but I just have a bad feeling with the way this committee's been selecting and ranking teams so far. So I'm afraid that might hurt us, the way we played tonight and by how close the score was. But really, as much as it sucks, that's out of our control. We just have to keep playing our game and winning on the field. Can't control what the committee does. But looking at the strong positives in this game, Everett Golson, him and running back Torian Folston, my players of the game. Everett Golson, 315 yards passing, 3 touchdowns in the air, 3 touchdowns on the ground for a total of 6. The first Notre Dame quarterback to ever do that. I believe his final completion percentage was 70%. Did have the 1 interception. And normally, with those kind of numbers and throwing 1 pick, nothing to worry about. But again, when you're going up against an option offense team that eats up 8-9 minutes of drive, that one mistake gets pretty costly. But regardless, he kept his composure. He held on and helped win us the game. And Torian Folston, hands down, his career breakout game. 20 carries, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. Contributed in the receiving game with 38 yards. If I had a game ball to give out, it would go to both these guys because these guys were the 2 factors that kept us in the game. Defensively, it was a rough night. That needs no explanation. But the defense, we knew it was going to be a challenge going up against this Navy team and the offense that they run. But as much as the defense struggled tonight, you got to give them credit. Came up with a big interception, had a couple of stops, and that's what you wanted to do, was force Navy to punt the ball and just get the ball back in your possession with the way their offense works. And our defense did that. They stepped up when they needed to, and hence we leave Landover, Maryland with a victory. But does it have to get better? Absolutely. Just the way that first half ended, that's inexcusable. And especially in the times when you know that a team like Navy, who only pretty much passes when they have to, you can't. When you know that they're going to be passing, you cannot break down on coverage like that. You can't let them beat you, especially when you know it's coming. But I guess you could say that about any team, really. But so we made some inexcusable mistakes tonight, but thankfully in the end it didn't hurt us, and we got our 7th win of the season. So yeah, I mean, with this Navy team, our mistakes were held to a minimum, but like I said, when you go up against a team like this, you pretty much cannot make any mistakes, or else a team like Navy will come back and snipe you, and that came close to happening tonight. Thank God it didn't, but and believe me, Navy is. We're not the only ones that have had problems with them. There have been other teams that have had problems with them too. Just ask Ohio State about it. I mean, I'm sure they're regretting scheduling Navy. And it was said in the Notre Dame post game that I happened to hear on the radio. Alan Pinkett even said that if you took a poll amongst all the FBS coaches, what's the number 1 team that they wouldn't want to schedule? I'm willing to bet he was willing to bet it would be Navy. Just with the kind of offense that they are, and all that. But overall, this Fighting Irish team, they did a great job. Not buckling under the pressure. They were poised. They kept their composure, and they left with a victory tonight. And that's the one thing that matters out of everything. So yeah, with that, guys, that's really all I have for you. Always a Notre Dame victory is always a great victory, no matter if it is kind of sloppy. Sloppy win is better than a sloppy loss any day, and I will gladly take it. So, with that, everyone, this is ND Sean 45 signing off. I will catch you guys either Monday or Tuesday for my preview for the Arizona State game, and big one next week. So, until then, you guys take it easy, and as always, go Irish! One last thing, everyone. I forgot to record this with the video, so I had to come back and record this now. But to all the people who think that I ignore things and don't acknowledge it when Notre Dame gets a call in their favor, yes, I agree. At the end of tonight's game against Navy, our cornerback, Matthias Farley, got away with a pass interference call. The flag should have been thrown there. I acknowledge that. Of course, am I glad that it didn't get called? Of course, I'm a fan. But yes, a flag definitely should have been thrown there. You see, I got a lot of flack from a lot of different people after the Florida State game that more or less accused me of not acknowledging it when Notre Dame gets away with things and gets a call in their favor. Well, I just proved all of you wrong. I do acknowledge it when Notre Dame gets away with something, and we did at the end of tonight's game against Navy on the pass interference that never got called. But anyway, at the same time, though, there was barely over a minute to go, and even if the flag did get thrown, Navy was still down by 10 points. They still had to score the touchdown, still had to do the onside kick and get the ball back and get a field goal and or touchdown. So it was no guarantee that they even would have came back and won the game, or that call would have made a difference. So, but there you go. Just wanted to throw that in there. Catch you guys later. Go Irish.